on the light. So if I do like this now, it's live, sha. But just save automatically to my today. I'll just copy the link and paste it and just go and watch it. So don't be saying you will learn this amount for you. Okay, so this one. So we say pants trouser. You say pants trouser. Or you just pants. You go punish her. The other one come waiting. The pants don't come waiting on the way. Have you in our clothes? Okay. So this one is our. So this one like this now. I like I always say this is the green line, the origin line. I mean. Then this part like this is the starting point. You always get your starting point, then you get your trouser length. Actually, this place is not big; it's short. So I'm going to be making use of a minimal trouser length. So I'm going to use a trouser length of 28. Trouser length of 28. So you have to consider 40. Yeah, for the length of the boat. So if there's anything you have in mind for, I don't know, in the previous class, you pay attention to this video, then you get some of the answers from you. So you start from your cross line, or we first of all mark all the horizontal lines, right? All the horizontal lines are going to mark them out. So how do you get your cross line? Your cross line is hip divided by 4, right? So your cross line is hip divided by 4. So if you divide by your cross line by 4, you hit by 4, you have your cross line. So let's assume a person's hip is 38. 38 divided by 4 is how many? 9.5, right? Yeah. So let's say the person's hip is a 36. 36 divided by 4, you have 6. You have 9, right? So let's make use of 9 here. So the board is not big, so we'll just try to minimize anything that big. So we just mark your 9 there. So this become our cross line. If I were you, to avoid, in case you forget, right? Just the way as I'm explaining that cross line divided by 4, you always write those details down. When you write them down, you can always make reference to them whenever you are confused. If you, like the way you guys are asking, how did you get that? How did you get this? If you write those details down, you don't need to be asking again. Just go back to those details, write down, okay, this is what I have to do to achieve this. So that, like that, like that, like that, like that, right? So our cross line now is 9. That means we divide our cross by our hip by 4. Then we have the cross line. So now, in order to for female, we need to have a hip line, right? So the hip line now you go up from here by 2 inches, right? You go up from here by 2 inches to get your hip line. So from here, you go by 2 inches. So that place automatically become your hip line. So this is your hip line. And like I said, we are trying to get all our horizontal line, right? We want to get all our horizontal line. So now we have our hip line and have our cross line. Now the next thing is our knee line, right? Now some people take measurement of your waist to knee, but if you don't have the measurement of your waist to your knee, what to do is you measure from you take your put your tape from here to this point, like from your cross line to your full trouser length, then you divide it by two, right? So we're going to divide this point by two. By you measure from here to this point, right? Then you divide by two. So on this point, I have 19. 19 divided by 2, I have how many? 9.5, right? I have 9.5. Then I'll mark, right? So I'll mark. Then on that point, I'll still go up by 2 inches. After I got the midpoint here, then I'll go up by 2 inches, right? So from here, I'll go up by 2 inches. So this point now is our knee point. So I'm going to draw a horizontal line on this place to, to indicate our knee line. And if you have any question, please put it down. As you are going, as you are processing like that, if you have any question, you can put it down and I will attend to it. So now this become our knee point, right? Then this is the full trouser length. Then let's assume this point is the hem allowance. So I always advise you add 2 inches for your hemming allowance. So I'm going to label it. Now from here to here is 2 inch, right? Then this is the main middle point. Then you go up by 2 inches, right? Then this is our knee line. This is a cross line. And this is the hip line, right? That is the hip line. And this one is just the starting point, which also stands for the waistline, right? That also stands for the waistline, right? Then this one is our full trouser length, right? This is our full trouser length. Is our full length. Then this one now is the folding allowance, is the hemming allowance, right? The hemming allowance. So with this now we have all our horizontal line put in place, right? We have all the horizontal line put in place. Now what we want to put into now is our body measurement, which is a circumference, is what we want to input now, right? So if the person's hip is 36, if you divide your 36 by 4, you have 9, right? You have 9. So on this hip line, you put the 9 inches here, right? Put the 9 inches here, right? So if divide by 4, then you put your result here. This is 9 inches, and you put your 9 inches here. So let me this way. So this is our hip measurement. So now from here to here is 9. So you put that same 9 here. We understand now. From here to here is 9. So that means you put the same here to here as another 9 into there again for the weight. Right? So from this point, I'm going to join it straight down to touch this place. I'm going to join a very straight line around that place. Now, mind you, this is not for male, it's for female, right? If you have any questions, you can just put it down. Keep putting them down and I'll attend to it. Right? So you have a straight line there. How did I get this straight line? Is the hip measurement. That is how I got the straight line there. Divide your hip by 4 and you mark there. So you use the same measurement for this point and this point and you gain it the straight line there. Now, the person's waist is how many? Let's assume the person's waist is 28. 28 divided by 4 is how many? 20 divided by 4. Hmm? 7. Alright. 20 divided by 4 is 7. So that means they're going to measure from here to this place 7. Right? We are measuring from here to this place, take out 7. Like this. From here to this place, you mark your 7. Right? Then after you mark your 7, then you add 1 inch allowance. Right? Add 1 inch allowance. Do we understand now? You add 1 inch allowance. So after you've gotten that, then you join this point to this point with your hip curve. Let me make use of this one. With the help of your hip curve, you join this point like this. Hope we are following, right? Our waist divided by 4, right? Our waist divided by 4. We have 7. Then we add 1 inch allowance, right? Okay. So now with this, we are done with the waist and we are done with the hip measurement. The next thing is our lap measurement, right? So if our lap is 24, on the cross line is where you input your lap measurement, right? On the cross line is where you input your lap measurement. So from here to this place, if our lap is 24, 24 divided by 2 is how many? It's 12, right? So now we put 12 here. Put the 12 there. There are other methods on getting this place too, but let's use this one for the purpose of this class first. There are different methods where you need to divide from this place to this place. If you divide 9, that is hip measurement. The measurement is 9. Divide it by 4, you have how many? Yes, you have 2 point something. That is that 9 now. 9 divided by 4. You have 2 point something like that, right? So in some case, that 2 point is what you add to this place. But you have to effect it when you want to cut the back panel, right? So there are different processes or procedure on achieving this particular point. But for the purpose of this class, let's use this method, right? So when you get to hip point, you mark that way, you leave it there. Then on the cross line is where you put your lap measurement. So the lap measurement is divided by 2. When you divide it by 2, then you now mark your. So for example, we have for this one we are having 24. 24 divided by 2, we have 12. That is why we have this one like this now as our lap measurement, right? So now we join with a very nice curve to touch this point. Now, It would be very nice to join this point like that, right? So we have a very nice, sorry, hand is shaking. So now this place like this now, this curve like this is called your rings. Do you understand now? This curve like this that start from here like this is called your rings. Hmm. So that's curve like that that end with this like this is called your rings. It's good you know the name of whatever you're working on, right? So with this now we have our rings, we have everything concerning the up is completed. Now we want to determine if we are making a palazzo trouser that is going to be a bit close to the body around this area, but as it's going down, it will open. It's left for you. If you are making the pencil type, it's left for you, right? But it's also follow the same procedure. But in this case, I'm going to make a pencil trouser first. Right? I'm going to make a pencil trouser first. So now that we have our lab measurement, we need to get our center line, right? We need to get our center line. How do we get our center line? Getting our center line is dividing this point by 2. When you divide this point by 2, then get the middle point. That middle point is what will transfer all the way down, just like this. Now this is 12. Remember, they are making for female and not for a male, right? So this is 12. 12 divided by 2, we have 6. We have 6. So from here to here is 6. From here to here will be 6. From here to here will be 6. So I have my center line from here like that all the way to this place. So I'll go over it again. You need to get your center line before you can impute other measurements. How do you get a center line? By dividing your lap measurement here into 2. When you divide it by 2, you have your midpoint here. So the measurement you have from here to here is what you add from here to here, from here to here. That is how you have this center line. Do we understand? Okay. So now that we have our center line now impute our knee measurement, right? Now, if our knee is 17, let's make use of 17. If our knee is 17, now 17 divided by 2 is how many? It will be 8.5, right? So, okay, let's make use of a figure that will be easy, right? So let's say we have our knee 18, or let's say 18 or 16, okay, 16, right? So let's make use of 16. 16 divided by 2, we have 8, right? So now, on this knee point now, 16 divided by 2 is 8. 16, 16 divided by 2, we have 8 for the knee. Just 8. So now you are putting the 8 here, right? You're going to put the 8 here. So on this center line, you're going to divide the 8 so that 4 will enter here and 4 will enter here. So that in total we have 8, right? So I'm going to put my tape like this, that 4 will be the middle point. I'll mark here and I will mark 8. Right? So from here to here is 8 and 4 is the middle point. So this place will have 4. and this place will have 4 inch. Right? So each of them will share 4 inch. Right? Then we go to the ankle circumference. Right? And we get to the ankle circumference area. Now, how many? What is the ankle circumference of the person? So we make use of let's make use of 7. Right? We're making use of 7 for the ankle circumference here. So what you do, your ankle circumference divided by that's which is that's 7. Let's say 14 ankle is 14. We divide it by 2, and you have 7. Right? You have 7. So that 7, you are going to divide that 7 here, so that we have 3.5 here and have 3.5 here, making this your center point. So I have 3.5 here, and also 3.5 here. So this place will be 3.5, and this place will be 3.5 for each of them. So they will be equal, right? Nobody cheating anybody. Everybody will collect your own 3.5. Nobody cheating anybody, right? So we are going to join this line to this line and to this line. I'm going to join this line to this line and to this point, right? Behind that, then join this, right? Then on this point, do the same thing. Join this to this. Then you turn your hip up. Right? Mind you, we are just using a guess measurement. It's not as if we are using an accurate measurement. You understand that? So you might see some kind of too much curve around this place because we did not use anybody's measurement. We are just suggesting measurement before we were using. You understand? So you have this way. Then you blend this together. Blend this like this together. Right? So this signal is this is your hip area, and now this is how you have your trouser, right? This is how you have your trouser for the female, right?